PGF competitors from all around the Southeast will gather for the chance to lay claim as the first PGF champion. The top 2 seeds combined share an outstanding record of 38 wins and only 1 loss. But PGF Gold is reserved for only one. On October 2nd, 16 athletes will compete in no time limit, submission-only matches until only one man is left standing. Will the undefeated Elijah Carlton remain on top and capture the first professional Grappling Federation title? Or will one of the challengers rise to the occasion to steal the undisputed King's crown? It all happens live and free on YouTube, October 2nd. But first, it's time for PGF 1 Countdown.
The submission-only tournament's about to go down. What's your predictions?
24-0. Because I'm 20-0 right now.
Instincts going no, looking bad like a bat with an eye patch.
I think I put a pace on people that they can't handle, especially off of my ass. I think my Kazushi and the pressure I'm able to create from the bottom is hard to deal with.
So what more can I say about Elijah Carlton? He was 20-0, didn't lose a match all season. And honestly, only 2 guys took him into that 4-minute mark. One Mike Ritchie and one Lewis Collins. He took out every other favorite. I knew this season was going to be special for Elijah when he took out Matt Elkins and Nilo Burgener in under a minute and a half. He submitted both of those top guys, and arguably those are the second and third best guys in the PGF, and he submitted both of them in a combined time under 2 minutes, and I think it was a minute and a half. So Elijah was special.
Well, the main thing that Elijah has done is he's walked through everybody that we've put in front of him. He's had 20 matches. He's had 20 submissions. Everybody that we put in front of him, he submitted them. He didn't beat them on a decision. He didn't eke out a points victory. He submitted them. And I think he expects to do the same thing in this tournament. I think most people expect that.
I can play a lot of different styles, man. I like to be able to throw anything out there. Unpredictable, right? And switch to predictable, right? I want to constantly throw all sorts of different things at people to where they don't know if I'm trying to be predictable or be unpredictable.
20 for 20, man, and it is that mentality. It's the confidence. He goes into every match expecting to win. And a lot of guys tell themselves that. A lot of guys tell themselves that they are going to win the match, but most don't believe it like he does. And so I think it makes him special and sets him apart from all the other competitors, at least that I've seen, especially in the PGF.
Elijah does a great job of mixing a really relaxed style with an aggressive offensive attack. And so he can come at you kind of slow and sort of lull you into a sense of comfortability, but then his setups are clean, and when he makes his play on his setup, he attacks really aggressively, changes speed on people, and I think that plays a big part in why he's able to get so much. And honestly, he's just he's a level better than most of the people that he's rolling with at any tournament.
I think that anybody who has predicted anything other than going out and taking first place has already lost. I feel like I can do a lot of really good work from the top position, and I can choose to be on top with every person that's in this tournament. If I want to take him down, I'll put as much or as little effort into that as I want to, take top and pressure the whole time, and there's no time limit, so 6 minutes was a little bit of a short wick to do the thing with before, but I feel like, yeah, let's see what happens in 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, however long it takes.
My prediction for the tournament is, I'm very confident that I could win the whole thing, and I seem, I'm really excited that there's a no time limit, submission only. Breaks are equal now. I really really like that and looking forward to putting on a show. I see myself winning.
I think the person who gets me the best match is Caleb, possibly Kevin. I think my cardio's not that well at the moment, so obviously I haven't been training as much. So I think anybody who can last 5 or 6 minutes and then get me to blow my wad, that's probably their best bet, but we'll see.
So Elijah's dealing with a shoulder injury. He dropped out of the competition. I mean, a couple of days ago, every other competitor thought they were about to be $1,000 richer because without Elijah, it opens everything up. But he's back in a shocking move because I didn't think he was going to compete. And so he has a shoulder injury, and I know he hasn't been able to train like he wants to. Now, how is his cardio going to be affected? I don't know.
My cardio's not that well. My cardio's not that well.
It's cardio. If somebody can drag him into the deep water, stay alive 10, 15, even 20 minutes, then I think that we get a... That's the way that Elijah gets upset, in my opinion. It's going to be in a long... Somebody's going to have to drag him into the deep water and drown him in order to kill him.
With the no time limit match, I feel like my game plan to beat anybody, and it doesn't matter if they're a white belt or a black belt or whoever. I think that my ability to drag it out and apply pressure the whole time and continue to push the pace is really, really big. And I think that that's the way that I'm going to beat any of these guys in the later matches in the tournament.
So if you're looking for somebody to beat Elijah, there's a couple of names. Now on his side of the bracket, you've got Nilo versus Matt Elkins. That should happen in the quarterfinals, and the winner of that, I mean, they have a chance of beating Elijah. Now, again, we've seen both those guys face him, and he got them both in a triangle choke. Now, he finished Nilo with the triangle armbar, but finished Matt with the triangle. I just don't know if either guy has what it takes to beat him. I think Caleb McAllister, he's already beaten him once, and I think if Elijah has a war, especially with one of those guys and is coming into the finals tired, I think whoever's coming from the right side of the bracket, whether it's Caleb McAllister, Jonathan Roberts, Kevin Primo, one of those guys is going to have the best chance of doing it.
I think number one is Matt Elkins. I think Matt has the ability to dictate where the match happens because he has superior wrestling. Matt also has really strong killing, which we saw throughout the season. He's got great, he's great with the front headlock. He's good with arm triangles. He's got a really nice triangle choke, actually, when he is on his back. He's a really strong guard passer. Matt's going to be more vulnerable in the leg locks because that's a newer game to him. Although he's not a bad leg locker, but it is a newer game to him. So whereas I see Elijah's weakness being cardio, I see Matt's weakness being the legs.
The only match that I lost in like 30 seconds. And I felt like I underperformed big time. I feel like I wasn't really mentally prepared for the match. It was the first night of the season. Didn't really have the, that right about the whole situation. And obviously my man Elijah is super good. So I feel really good about getting a chance to do it again, man. I'm excited about it. And if he can do it twice in 30 seconds, then cool. But I don't feel that way. So the longer that match goes on, the more it goes in my favor, in my opinion. I'm going to beat Elijah Carlton.
So the Elbow Genie is the second best guy offensively. I mean, Elijah went 20 for 20, and the Elbow Genie was right behind him. I mean, he took 2 losses to Matt Elkins, his training partner, and Elijah, but everybody else he smoked. Now, his big issue is going to be his gas tank, because we saw him in a couple of matches. Even when he beat Caleb, I mean, his arms were fried. And so I don't know how he's going to do in a no time limit format. I think he easily wins his first match. Now, how does he do in the Caleb rematch? That match fascinates me. Obviously, he already beat him once, and he was all over Caleb in that match. But if Caleb can get Jonathan past that 6-minute mark, especially if he can start to get him to the 10, 15-minute mark, I think it starts to sway, that advantage starts to sway towards Caleb. Now, if you told me next Monday, so after the tournament, everything's wrapped up, that Jonathan Roberts won, I would not be surprised. I mean, betting against that kid is really foolish at this point. And man, I expect a highlight finish, and dude, he can do, I think he's got the game to do anything he wants to do in this tournament.
There is a lot of tough guys in this competition. You know, just to name a few, obviously, Jake Elkins, the main, an animal. Elijah, he did submit me in the regular season. Both those guys did, but I do believe that I could beat them, and I'm looking forward for that rematch. But I do have to get through Moses, very, very tough competitor, very strong, unlimited cardio, and that match of the season with Caleb, me and him get to run it back under a different rule set. Also, you know, Kevin or Joe Kai that could have run from the bottom side of the bracket. That's going to be a tough match. I didn't finish Kevin. He's a beast. I mean, I was tired after that match, so it'll be interesting that me and him get to finish what we started during the season.
So if we're talking about people that can drown Elijah, you have to mention Joe Kai. If Joe can stay alive against Elijah, really that's the key. If anybody can stay alive against Elijah, then that's the only chance I think anybody has, is just to stay alive, survive the onslaught, and then drag him out and see if you can drown him. I think Joe's got a great chance of doing that. I think Kevin Primo has a great chance of doing that as well. I think Jonathan Roberts can beat Elijah. And I think Jonathan Roberts can beat anybody at any time. When you talk about scariest, best catches in the tournament, there's no question it's Jonathan Roberts. No question at all.
Elijah did get me during the regular season. I don't see that happening again. I think that if I could get Elijah into a guard position or get past his guard, I do see myself being able to finish him in the tournament.
The thing that I love the most about the PGF rule set is the fact that we've got two separate rule sets. So we've got the season, the regular season, where we move through with the kills and the breaks, 7-3-0. But one could argue, and somehow, you could game that rule set. But what makes that rule set so great is that at the other end of it, there's a submission only, no time limit format. And there's no gaming that. You either survive or you don't. And only those that survive advance. And there's only going to be one guy left standing at the end of all of it.
I'm coming to do business.